Thank you everyone for joining us today for iContact's webinar, Adventures in Social Media Marketing. My name is Eddie Howard. I'm a product manager here at iContact, and I'm joined by fellow product manager Rob Call. For today's webinar, we're going to cover the following items. We will show you how to connect your Facebook and Twitter account to iContact, create and edit Facebook and Twitter messages within iContact, post these social messages directly to Facebook and Twitter from iContact with no email required, schedule Facebook and Twitter messages to be delivered at a future date and time, track the results of your Facebook and Twitter posts, and we'll show you how to add 2 new social media sharing buttons to your emails, Google+ One and LinkedIn. The last 15 minutes or so of today's webinar will be reserved for answering any questions you may have during this webinar. Several months ago, we conducted a survey of 414 iContact customers that focused on the challenges and goals of their social media marketing efforts. When reviewing the results, it was not a surprise that the top 2 social media networks used by iContact customers were Facebook and Twitter, followed by LinkedIn. And when researching the reasons behind using social media marketing strategies, we found that a number of our users were having problems getting started with social media. So to help understand these problems, we asked the question, what is the biggest challenge you face when using social media strategies in your marketing efforts? As you can see here in the graph, the biggest challenge with using social media marketing strategies is that our customers didn't have enough time to spend integrating social media with their existing online marketing campaigns. On the right, you can see that lack of time is the #1 reason behind challenges our customers have with using social media strategies in their online marketing efforts. Among other factors, these statistics help shape the way we are architecting iContact, and in many ways are the impetus behind our most recent social media integration tools. One of our top goals at iContact is to make online marketing easier and tangible for small and medium-sized businesses, not only for email, but also for other channels, including social media marketing. Next up, Rob Call will guide us through iContact's newest tools for publishing and tracking data on Facebook and Twitter, and he'll give us some insight into how we're constantly striving to make online marketing easy and attainable for all of our customers. So Rob, here you go.
Thank you, Eddie. So you guys should be seeing an iContact account that we have pulled up here. As usual, when you log in, you'll be taken to the home welcome screen. And you notice at the top of the screen here, the tab structure, we have a social tab. So this is where we're going to be demonstrating most of our functionality. So if you want to enable Facebook and Twitter with iContact, you can do it either from the social tab itself or using the settings drop down in the upper right and by clicking social media settings. For the sake of this demonstration, we're just going to start from the social tab. So if I click social, the system recognizes that I haven't currently integrated my Facebook or Twitter account with iContact, so I'm going to go ahead and enable Facebook, and then we'll walk through some things and then answer some questions later. So if I click Enable Facebook Account, I'm already logged into my Facebook account, so iContact easily picks that up. I am now enabled with Facebook for iContact, and I can click Continue. So the first thing you'll notice off the bat after enabling Facebook for iContact is the design and the visual structure of this tool is meant to be very familiar to those who use Facebook frequently and are used to the Facebook tools. So you'll notice kind of this color scheme and the toolbar here, down here for adding links, but you'll also notice up here in the upper left, we have Facebook and Twitter, so these are the 2 channels we support. We show you not only the number of friends for your profile, but also any fan pages that you have for your Facebook account. So in this case, the Flo Fargo is the main Facebook account here, and the fan page underneath that account is Sunshine Travel. We're going to be working in the Sunshine Travel account for today's demonstration. So if I click Sunshine Travel, you'll notice that the avatar updates. We're always telling you how many fans you have for whatever profile page or fan page you have selected. So in this case, the Sunshine Travel Facebook page has 3 fans, so we'll always be telling you this. You can switch back and forth between those fan pages and profiles at any time by clicking that tab. And if you want to start building a message and posting it to your fans, you can do so on the screen here. So I'm going to go ahead and create a message for you. check out our holiday deals. Okay, so me being a travel website, and we're going to be giving away trips to Fiji. So we're going to be promoting this website, FijiMe.com. So if we take this URL and we put it down here, and we paste it in and click Add, we are going to go out to the FijiMe.com website and grab the images from that website, the description of the website, and the title of that website. So those who are familiar with Facebook, if you've ever shared an article with somebody or shared a story with somebody, this is something that Facebook does as well, where they'll basically build a message for you based on the URL you put in. So in this case, we put in FijiMe.com, and I can modify this now as I see fit to tailor it for my marketing campaign. So if I click Change Image, we'll bring up the iContact image library. But we're also bringing up all the images that we found from the website, FijiMe.com, and then the user, you, can pick which image you want to include in your message. So in this case, these are the images we pulled from FijiMe.com. But for the sake of this demonstration, why don't we use the logo that we have in our image library? So this is something you, as an iContact user, could do. If you had your logo in your image library, you could use it as the image for a Facebook post. This happens to also be the avatar, but that's a coincidence. So if I click on Sunshine Travel, that image, we automatically show you a preview of it here. You click check, and we've added the image to the post. We can also edit the title of this to make it a little more specific. So if we say Fiji Travel Giveaway, and we'll leave the description alone. And so now we have a post, and we want to post this to the Sunshine Travel fan page. I would click Post to Facebook. Now, before I click Post to Facebook, I want to mention one thing. We have a checkbox here called Track My Links, okay? And this is on by default for both Facebook and Twitter. And what this does is it will take any URLs that you put in the status area up here, or any URLs you use down here in the bottom. So this is a URL that customers will be able to click on when they view the message in Facebook. We are going to be shortening those URLs and tracking them using iContact's link tracking. It's the same technology we use to track your links in an email. And this will allow us to track how many people are clicking URLs in your Facebook or Twitter posts. And then eventually down the line we'll be showing some drill down reporting, but we'll get to tracking here in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and click Post to Facebook. We are now posting to Facebook, as you can see by this status notification down here. And once the post is successful, very similar to email, we move your posted messages to the posted message list. So the posted message list has all of the messages that have been posted for this fan page. In most recent post is shown first, followed by posts that have been made later. We also have tracking data down here, but we'll get there. So I posted to the Sunshine Travel fan page, so I'm going to go ahead and switch to that fan page. So here's the fan page, and we posted to its wall. So the message I just created, as you saw me create, has now been posted to the fan page, and you'll notice the URL that I was talking about, using iContact shortener, it is now shortened. So if users click on these links here, and if people like this post or they leave a comment, we will then be rolling up that information and showing the customer how many comments there were for the post, how many likes this post generated, and how many clicks this post generated. So let me go ahead and leave a comment. And we'll go ahead and leave that. All right, let's go back to iContact. And as every 15 minutes or so, we'll be asking Facebook for the tracking data for each post you make through iContact. So in a little while, we'll start to see that like that I made. So I liked the post. We'll see that come through. We'll see the number of comments come through, the number of clicks. For the interested demonstration, I made a message earlier today, and this message generated 7 clicks, had 2 comments, and 1 like. And so we'll be periodically updating that tracking data for customers every 15 minutes. And this is only for posts you make through iContact to Facebook or Twitter. We'll be grabbing this kind of information. So I'm going to go ahead and move to show you some management options you could do with your messages. So say this message was wildly successful, or say we want to reuse this message down here, the one I sent earlier today that generated some good traffic for us. I can use the Actions drop-down menu here and copy it. All right. So if you have a very successful message that has good tracking information or more tracking information than, say, a separate message you posted through iContact, you can single this message out and you want to kind of recreate this success. So I'm going to go ahead and click copy. It'll load that message into the editor, very similar to when you're editing an email message. And we can then make adjustments to this. So I'm going to go ahead and change this image. And I'm going to pick something else. Let's choose this image. It's pretty nice. And we're going to leave the rest alone because the message was pretty successful to begin with. But we want to change the flavor of it a little bit by choosing a separate image to go along with this message. So we copied that sent post. We have it here. Now we could save this as a draft if we want. So if I click save, we'll go ahead and save the message. So save is successful. And that message will show up as a draft message under the Drafts tab. So any messages you send through iContact, any social messages you send through iContact will show up under Posted. And any drafts you want to save for later or send later, you can save as a draft. But we're pretty happy with this, and say the marketing department's reviewed it, and they're happy with it, and they want to go ahead and make sure this message goes out at the right time. They could edit the post. It'll open up here. But we don't want to send this message immediately. We're conducting a holiday campaign, and we want to make sure this message goes out, say, a week before Christmas. So we'll go for the 18th. So if I click schedule, I can choose to send this message on December 18th of this year. And let's go ahead and shoot for noon because most of my customers are on the East Coast. But anyone on the West Coast will get it relatively early in the morning, so around 9. So you kind of want to target your post to when people are most likely to check Facebook or Twitter, but a lot of people check it every day. So timing is important, so you should think about it, but frequency is important too. So December 18th, 2011, we're posting at noon. Go ahead and click schedule. So this message is now enqueued for delivery by iContact to the Sunshine Travel fan page. As you can see, I've scheduled a couple messages to go out through iContact. And you'll notice that we have a message that's going to post on December 10th, which I scheduled earlier today, and a message that's going to post on December 15th. And the message I just scheduled now shows up down here for December 18th. So the scheduled listing will show you all Facebook messages you have scheduled to go out in chronological order. This helps you kind of at a glance see the cadence with which you're posting, the content of what you're posting, and make adjustments as necessary. So if you wanted to unschedule something, you could use the Actions drop-down, move it back to drafts, make an adjustment, and reschedule it. But the power of this is pretty good. It provides you some flexibility and some convenience. So in Facebook and Twitter directly, you can't schedule messages to go out at a future time. You have to use some third-party tool to get any kind of scheduling. And we've integrated scheduling Facebook and Twitter messages directly into iContact. So a really good use case here, and that some of our customers are already employing, is they may send an email once a month at the beginning of the month. And then they may schedule 2 or 3 social posts to go out each week throughout the remainder of the month as a complement to that email message that went out. So the scheduling lets you kind of manage your campaigns and schedule them ahead of time through iContact, both email and social posts. I'm going to go ahead and move to Twitter now. So if you scroll to the top of the screen here, you'll notice that we have the Facebook tab. And if I click the Twitter tab, remember at the beginning I didn't enable Twitter when we first started. So if I click Twitter and you're not enabled for Twitter, we will ask you, the customer, to please enable your Twitter account. So I'm going to go ahead and click Enable Twitter Account. We'll tell you the process by which this is going to happen. So if we click Continue, it's going to take us to Twitter for a second. It's going to ask us to authorize iContact to post to the Twitter account. So if you click Authorize App, Twitter will process that information and then take us back to iContact. And we've now enabled Twitter for this iContact account. Very similar to Facebook in overall layout. However, you'll notice the colors we've chosen to use for the Twitter tool and obviously the Twitter logo let the user know immediately that they're in Twitter or they're using iContact's Twitter integration. For every Twitter account, for the Twitter account that you integrate with your iContact account, we'll show you the avatar for the Twitter account and how many followers you have. So again, it gives you a sense of the size of your audience, very similar to what we showed for Facebook. So I'm going to go ahead and type out a message here. We're still doing our holiday Fiji campaign, so we want to make this message equally relevant. So thank you to all loyal followers take advantage of this great deal. Okay, so right off the bat, you'll notice the difference between Facebook and Twitter here. Twitter only allows 140 characters, so we'll tell you, the user, how many characters you have remaining when typing out your message. We have track my links clicked, so we're going to be shortening this URL and tracking it through iContact. So if anybody clicks on that URL, anybody that's following your Twitter account will be able to roll up how many clicks those URLs generated. And similar to Facebook, you can post immediately or schedule for some time in advance. So I'm going to go ahead and post to Twitter. It says posting to Twitter. Once Twitter accepts this post, I'll go ahead and jump over to Twitter and show it living there. So if we switch, we go to Twitter home, and let's go ahead and refresh. Okay, so thank you to all loyal followers. Take advantage of this great deal at, and then it has the URL. So similar to the other URL, the URL we used for Facebook, we shorten this for Twitter. And then as we click this over time, very similar to Facebook, we're going to be asking Twitter every 15 minutes for the most recent information, tracking information on each post you make through iContact. Now, some of the tracking information I want to talk about briefly. So for Facebook, you can track the number of likes, the number of comments, and the number of clicks. For Twitter, will allow you to track the number of retweets that post generated, and the reach for that post, and the number of clicks that post has generated. So retweets are pretty self-explanatory. Anybody that's following you that retweets the post, we will log that in iContact and say, yes, you have 1 retweet, and if the second person retweets, you'll have 2 retweets, and so on. Clicks are pretty self-explanatory, so as soon as somebody clicks on the link on the URL, since we are shortening it and tracking it through iContact, we'll be able to count how many people clicked on those URLs. And this other metric here that you may not be familiar with that we're calling reach. So reach essentially is the number of eyeballs that can potentially see this post. So the people that follow your Twitter account, they probably have followers of their own. So if somebody who's following you retweets the post you made through iContact, we are going to tell you not only how many followers may have seen your message, but how many of your followers' followers may have seen your message. So a great example is if I post this message and I have 3 followers, and say Eddie's one of those followers, and Eddie has 10 followers of his own. When he retweets my message, I have a reach of, I potentially have reached 13 individual eyeballs, 13 individual people. 3 that were my followers, and 10 that were Eddie's followers. And so reach is a really good metric for understanding how much of an impression a message is leaving. And then the clicks and the retweets speak a little bit more to engagement. So how often are people engaging with that content? So you can use these numbers as a baseline for understanding which posts are doing well for you. If you're after a large audience, maybe reach is more important to you. If you're more concerned with engagement or click-throughs, maybe clicks are more important to you. The point is that information will be available to you through iContact. Last but not least, I want to show you a couple things about advanced settings here briefly. So in iContact, you can name any of your posts for your own personal use. So if you want to save a draft and name it, holiday promotion draft, and you use campaigns in iContact to kind of manage the sending envelope for your broadcasts. We have campaign support for social posts. So if you click Sunshine Travel, so this is the campaign we're going to save it under. We're going to name this holiday promotion draft. And we're going to create this draft. This is my holiday draft message. And I'm going to go ahead and click Save. So this is only for your internal use as a customer. So recipients will never see the name of the post and will never see the campaign. But this does allow you to create messages, to get them vetted, save them as a draft, sort them by campaign, and name them something unique so you can find them and use them later. We'll be expanding that functionality over time to make it more integrated from a tracking perspective, but I didn't want to gloss over your ability to name a post and to assign it to a campaign. But last but certainly not least, we'll go to scheduling. So very similar to Facebook, any messages you have scheduled for Twitter will go out at the date and time you schedule them, all Eastern time. If you remember on Facebook, we had a message scheduled to go out on the 10th, on the 15th, and the 18th. Similarly, we have a Twitter message here scheduled to go out at noon on December 15th, so 10 days before Christmas. And ideally, when you're doing your own marketing campaigning through iContact, especially if you're promoting one large idea or set of content, you want to make sure that your messages from through Twitter and through Facebook and through email via iContact all have a similar feel. Perhaps they use similar imagery, they use similar messaging, and you may want to schedule them to go out kind of to complement one another. So this kind of shows you how you can do that. We're going to switch gears a little bit and go away from social publishing and tracking, and we'll move over to some improvements we made to the email channel with respect to social media. So what we've shown you is a brand new product that allows you to post messages to Facebook and Twitter directly through iContact without sending out a complimentary email. What I'm going to show you now is some improvements we made to your ability to have your subscribers and recipients share your content via social networking. So we'll go ahead and show you that real quick. So if I click the email tab, it used to be the create tab, now it's the email tab. And if we go to draft messages, I have a message that I've already created called Sunshine Holiday Promotion. I'm going to go ahead and click edit, and we're going to be loading up this message in Message Builder. Now, first thing you'll notice, and what I'm going to show you is, in this block here that I've opened up, we have a like button, we have a tweet button, we have a +1 button, and a LinkedIn share button. For a couple months now, we've had the ability, we've had the like button and the tweet button as a feature that customers can use, such that their subscribers can share their content to their fans or their followers. Recently, we added the ability to include Google +1 buttons and LinkedIn share buttons. And I'll go ahead and delete these and show you how to insert them into your iContact message. And then I'll explain a little bit about how these work and the value of them, and then we'll go from there. So I have this block, it's opened up, I can edit this block, I can type anything I want. Up here in the toolbar, you'll see this little drop-down menu. It's called Social Tools. So if I click this drop-down menu, you'll notice that there are 4 buttons here. There's the Add Like button, Add Tweet button, the Google +1 button, and the LinkedIn Share button. So I'm going to go ahead and add all 4 of these to my message. So add the Like button. I'm going to create a little bit of space. Add the Tweet button. Add a little bit of space. And we'll go ahead and add all these buttons. And then I will go ahead and save this message. Now, once it's saved, it'll go back to the message listing. And say we wanted to send this message. For the sake of time, I'm not going to send it. But if we click send and we sent it to all the subscribers on our list, or maybe a segment of people, the point is any subscribers you send this to, send this message to, if those recipients click on the like button or the tweet button or the +1 button or the share button, they can then take your content that you've sent through iContact and share it with anybody they're networked with on LinkedIn, or anybody in their Google +1 circle, or their Google circles, or anybody who's following that customer on Twitter or following that subscriber on Facebook. So this is a little bit different than social publishing in that this provides your subscribers the opportunity to share your content with their social following. And then we can help you track some of that information through iContact. So let me jump over to reports real quick, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So let's go ahead and use the webinar marketing email we sent on July 19th just as a baseline for discussion here. So if you've used this in the past, we used to have just Facebook and Twitter under the social impact area. Since we've added the Google +1 button and the share button, we've expanded the social impact dashboard to show you the information that you need to know. So what this basically says right here is that 904 contacts received this message, and that this message generated 27 total tweets and 27 total likes, or 25 total likes through iContact. If you scroll down to the bottom here, we'll show you a little bit larger breakdown. So what this means is, under sources, when you have the email source, what this means is when you sent this via email through iContact to your subscribers, it generated 76 views to the content that we store online for you, 17 clicks based on the content we store online for you, 27 tweets, and 25 likes. So basically, this email was retweeted and liked that many times by your recipient subscribers. Now, this message didn't have +1 or LinkedIn buttons in it, so we don't have any data to populate here, but the same principle applies. If people had shared it via Google+ or via LinkedIn, we would be logging that information here. Now, what this helps you understand as an iContact customer is when you send an email through iContact and you include these social buttons, we are taking your email content and we're archiving it online for you. This makes it easier to find for anybody on the web. It also makes it possible for us to put these buttons in the email and allow people to share your content. So when they share your content with these social buttons, they are actually pointing people to the archived version of your email that we host for you here at iContact. And what these numbers will tell you is, in this case, Twitter is doing the best job at generating engagement for that content you put online, followed by Facebook, etc. We'll be expanding this over time throughout 2012. So we didn't just improve the social publishing and tracking aspect of iContact insofar as the social tab, but we also improved your ability to share your emails with through other social networks with Google +1 and LinkedIn. All right, I'm going to give it back to Eddie, and then we'll go ahead and take some questions.
Thank you, Rob. So during this demo, we've shown you how to do the following. We've shown you how to connect your Facebook and Twitter account to iContact, create and edit Facebook and Twitter messages within iContact, post social messages directly to Facebook and Twitter from iContact with no email required, schedule Facebook and Twitter messages to be delivered at a future date and time, track the results of those Facebook and Twitter posts, and we showed how to add LinkedIn and Google +1 buttons to your email. The social tab was rolled out to all users over the past 2 weeks, so you should see this tab inside your iContact account already. This new functionality and the ability to post and track your Facebook and Twitter posts is free to use for trial and paying customers. iContact Free Edition users will have the opportunity to upgrade their account to use these features. At this point, we are finished with the demonstration portion of the webinar. Thank you everyone so much for taking time out of your day to join us. Now we'll take a few minutes to respond to some questions that came up during the demo, and we will review the responses to our polling questions.
So the first question, which social media platform do you use the most? Overwhelmingly, we have Facebook in the lead, followed by Twitter. And then Google+, YouTube, and other are straggling behind there. This is not uncommon. This is something that generally in the marketplace is true for the small business using social, and it is certainly true for our iContact population, so this is nicely in line. And we hope that the Facebook demonstration we showed you helps you use it with iContact. So thanks for answering that question. The second poll question, how often do you use social media for business purposes? So it's good to see that the majority of recipients or responders do it relatively frequently. Social media is meant to be conversational. It's meant to be kind of fluid. It's meant to be timely and back and forth. So 3 times per week is a solid cadence, and it all depends on your audience, your fans, your followers, and your relationship with them. But 3 times a week is a good frequency. If you do it more, it's not a bad thing. If you do it less, it's not a bad thing. But that's a good frequency.
So at this point, we're going to read some of the questions that came in during the demonstration. And keep them coming if you have any additional questions, or if there's something else you'd like to see, feel free to ask that question now, and hopefully we'll get a chance to get to it. So the first question that we have is from Amy. The question is, are the social media capability features included in all iContact contracts? So as we answered a little bit earlier, this is available to all paying customers and all trial customers. And if you're an iContact Free Edition user, you have the opportunity to upgrade directly from the social tab, which you should also see when you log into iContact.
So if you have a monthly subscription or an annual subscription, regardless of the size of your account, if you're a paying iContact customer, you have access to these tools at no cost. Yeah.
Next question comes from Jerry. He says, I deleted a post on my Facebook, but it doesn't get removed from the posted list on iContact. How can we remove it?
So that's a very good question, Jerry. It's something we need to iterate towards. Right now, you won't be able to remove that post. We're working towards a larger synchronization with Facebook and iContact, such that you never have to leave iContact to go to Facebook to do any of your marketing or conversing. In the short term, you can't delete those posts for now, but we'll be building more flexible capabilities down the line based on feedback that similar to the stuff you're giving, Jerry. So thanks for that question.
Next question is from Patricio. The question is your fan page a different page than your personal Facebook page, for example, friends and relatives page?
So a fan page is usually a subset of a normal personal Facebook page. Facebook treats them a little bit differently, but in iContact, as far as the user experience is concerned and the capabilities of what you can send and track for personal Facebook pages and fan pages, those are identical. So we support personal Facebook pages and fan pages associated with them right now.
Next question is from Erica. The question is, I see the campaign name can be modified. The first post shows iContact, the second one says Sunshine Travel. Is that how it comes through Facebook as posted by under the post in Facebook?
The people that follow you or are fans of your fan page will never see the campaign name and will never see the unique post name that you give it through iContact. That information that we show you within iContact is for organization purposes only, and we'll be using that, we'll be expanding on that functionality throughout next year. But to answer your question directly, nobody will see the campaign name, none of your recipients will see the campaign name, and none of your recipients will see the post name.
Next question comes from Fernanda. Question is, can we put more than one Twitter account? And can you show me how to do that if you can?
So currently, per iContact account, we only support one Facebook login and one Twitter login. There's some nuance there in that for Facebook, you can have multiple fan pages underneath a personal account. So you can kind of simulate multiple audiences through one Facebook account. But right now, it's one Twitter account per iContact account and one Facebook login per iContact account. We've gotten this feedback quite a bit. So something we're targeting for early next year is to support multiple Twitter and multiple Facebook accounts as needed. So stay tuned for that. We'll be building some enhancements over time. But right now it's one Twitter account and one Facebook account per iContact account.
Next question is from Deborah. Can you post at the same time to both Twitter and Facebook so that you're not doing double entries?
You could schedule messages to go out at the same time. You could, if you were doing it manually, like post to Facebook immediately and post to Twitter immediately through iContact, they wouldn't go out at the exact same time. I would also caution that I wouldn't make the messages identical. Each audience, the Twitter audience and the Facebook audience, may be slightly different, so it's probably worth tailoring each message specifically. But if you wanted the same message to go out at the same time, the best way to do that today is to schedule a message to go out through Facebook and schedule a message to go out through Twitter, and make the scheduled date and time the exact same date and time.
Next question is from Andrea. Can the like buttons be put on individual story blocks rather than the entire newsletter?
So right now, the like buttons only let the recipient like the entire message. We've tossed around the ability of content-specific like, so like this article or like this story, to your point. So in the short term, no, that's not something that you can do through iContact right now, but it's something that wouldn't be difficult for us to build, and something that's actually been on our roadmap for a little while. So right now, what they're liking is the whole email message, not a specific piece of content.
Next question comes from Conchetta. Do the like, Twitter, Google+1, and LinkedIn buttons and emails work when testing a message, or only once the real message is delivered?
So those messages, the Twitter buttons and the Facebook buttons, they should work regardless of whether or not it's a test message or a broadcast message, because the recipient of that email, when they click the like button or they click the Facebook button, they'll need to be logged into Facebook or Twitter to share your content. Now, what they'll be sharing, if you're sending just a test message through iContact, the message is an archive, so they don't get to share the archived content. But the buttons themselves should work and aren't related to when you enable Facebook and Twitter and iContact under social media settings or under the social tab. You don't need to have that enabled to use the email plus social share buttons.
Melanie asks, are the social media buttons automatically linked to the platform, or does a link need to be added to them?
So if you're referring to the social media buttons in the email, when you send that out through iContact, we will archive that email for you. And that archived email has its own specific URL or website address. And when somebody clicks on the like or tweet or +1 or LinkedIn share button when they receive the email, we'll automatically populate that message that the person is creating, that the recipient is creating, with the archived URL. So what that person is retweeting on your behalf or liking on your behalf is the archived content that you're hosting online through iContact, and the content of the post that they're making on your behalf contains the URL for the archived content. So they are automatically linked to the message that's being archived once you broadcast that message out.
Next question comes from Alyssa. It says, can I add a tweet button to an email even if my company does not have a Twitter account?
Absolutely, definitely. If you don't have a Twitter account or a Facebook account, keep in mind when a subscriber receives your email, when they click those social share buttons, they are the ones that are going to have to log into their Facebook account, their Twitter account, their LinkedIn account, because they are sharing your content with their followers, their fans. So you don't necessarily need to have a Twitter account or a Facebook account to use the share buttons via email. To use the social functionality that we showed on the social tab, you will absolutely need a Facebook account and a Twitter account.
Leslie asks, are you going to add a tab for YouTube to the newsletter soon?
So it's interesting you asked that, Leslie. When we did some of our preliminary research on these tools, we got a lot of feedback about Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, but we got a lot more feedback than we expected surrounding YouTube specifically. So in investigating newer channels or other channels that customers can use through iContact in doing their marketing, YouTube is something we're keeping an eye on, along with LinkedIn. So stay with us through early 2012, and we'll be rolling some cool things out in the near term. Danielle asks,
my iContact account somehow got linked to my personal Facebook page instead of my business page. How can I change that?
If you have two separate accounts and two separate sets of login information, you can go to social media settings and disable Facebook through iContact. You'll need to make sure you're logged out of your Facebook account first before you do that. And then when you re-enable Facebook to work with iContact, you can use the account that you can use the username and password for the Facebook account you wanted to enable in the first place.
So Daniel asked, I missed the beginning of the webinar. Is it being recorded?
We're recording this actually. We'll be sending everybody a link to that recording via email. So when you register for the webinar and you put in an email address, we'll be sending that in about an hour after the webinar ends.
Gary asks, is it unusual that my Facebook fan page icon doesn't show up in iContact? The admin photo does, but the page photo does not.
It should show up, and if it's not, I would recommend, first of all, contact our support department so we can file a case and address your issue quickly. But if you have the profile picture for your fan page or your profile page put into Facebook, iContact's going to be grabbing that from Facebook, so it should show up. If it's not showing up, I would contact support, file a case, and you could also try disabling and re-enabling Facebook to see if it was just a handshake problem between iContact and Facebook, but it should show up.
Ernesto asks, when sending a Twitter post, can you shorten a URL from iContact?
Absolutely. In fact, when you send a Twitter post through iContact, any URLs you type into your Twitter post will automatically be shortened and tracked by iContact. Now, if you don't want to track by iContact, you simply uncheck the Track My Links checkbox that we showed when doing the demonstration. But by default, iContact will track any URLs you put in a Facebook message and any URLs you put in a Twitter message, the same way we track email clicks.
Is there a way to incorporate a like button within an email that allows the recipient to like the fan page as a whole rather than the individual message?
So not currently through the message builder toolbar. So I believe somebody asked before about liking a specific piece of content as opposed to the entire message itself. So as we gather feedback like this, Mike, we'll be expanding how we allow customers to share their content with their constituency. So we'll be making some tweaks over time. So that kind of functionality could be coming soon. But right now, you can only like the entire message itself, not a specific URL within the message, and not a fan page specifically. That's a good question, Mike. Thank you.
Question from Arness. Some people still use MySpace. Will there be a button for that in the future?
So no channels are off limits. So as we gather feedback from customers like yourself, as we survey the market, the competition, and what's best for our user base at iContact, something like MySpace is entirely possible, as is LinkedIn, Google+, and we mentioned YouTube before. So it's possible. We're not ruling out any channel, especially if it's of benefit to our customers. So if you have some time to within iContact, use the feedback form at the top, or submit some feedback to customer support, we make note of all of those things. So the more feedback we get about that kind of thing, the better. So it's a good question. Thank you.
Bonnie asks, on Facebook, if you have separate fan pages for two different businesses, is there a way in iContact to be able to specify which post you want on which page?
So if you have separate fan pages for two separate businesses and they're under the same Facebook login, in iContact, when you are using the social tab and you have Facebook selected, if you use the Facebook tab on the left side of the screen, it will ask you which fan page you want to select. And so if you know what fan page you want to send a message to, you can create your post, select the fan page you want to post it to, and then click Post to Facebook. If you want to send that same post to a separate fan page, that's a part of the Facebook login you integrated with iContact, you can then copy the post under the Posted tab, and then switch out the fan page using the Facebook tab on the left side of the screen. Choose the new fan page you want to post that message to, and post it immediately. So as long as those fan pages are a part of the same Facebook login, you can post the same content to those fan pages. You have to do it one at a time, but it does support multiple fan pages as long as they're underneath one Facebook login.
So we have a question from Andrea and also by Marif that says, can you add something to Facebook where customers can sign up for your newsletter?
Absolutely. In fact, in iContact, under the sign-up form creator, you can build a Facebook sign-up form that will be pushed to your Facebook account, and then anybody that uses that Facebook sign-up form will become a part of your Facebook account. Be a part of your iContact list. So if you've used a sign-up form generator before to put a sign-up form on your website, we do have the ability through iContact to let you create a sign-up form that you can put on your Facebook account. So we do have that feature, yes.
Another question from Arness. Is there a limit to the number of posts you can make on social media like there are on emails?
iContact we don't have any limits on the number of posts you can make to Facebook and Twitter through iContact. That being said, similar to email, it's in your best interest with respect to your audience to find a cadence that works for your audience. Additionally, Facebook and Twitter, they keep track of how many times a specific Facebook or Twitter account is posting and how frequently they're posting. So if you post too frequently, and by too frequently I mean you're spamming or you're going over and over and over again, like once a day is fine, even probably 10 times a day is fine. But if Facebook or Twitter picks up activity that they deem to be spammy or too frequent, they may disable the ability to post anything to Facebook or anything to Twitter through iContact or any other third-party tool. In fact, In some cases, if you post too frequently to your Twitter account or your Facebook account, if you went to facebook.com or twitter.com and tried to make a post, they wouldn't let you. So they'd be throttling you or slowing you down. So iContact's not enforcing any limits. Out of respect for your audience, you want to find a cadence that works for your audience, but we're not enforcing any limits, no.
Next question is from Nicole. Is it possible to post to groups instead of fan pages?
Not currently, Nicole. Right now it's profile pages, fan pages, and Twitter accounts. But that's something we can investigate going forward as we gather more feedback on it. So unfortunately not right now, Nicole, but it's a good question. We'll take that into consideration.
Next question from Andrea. When I enable Facebook, it pulls up my personal profile, but I switch to a Facebook page. How do I correct this?
If you are already logged in, Andrea, to your personal Facebook account, and you wanted to use the DeKalb Realtors account, you're going to want to, in your web browser, you're going to want to go to facebook.com, and you're going to want to log out of your personal profile. Then once you're logged out of your personal profile through your browser, when you enable Facebook to work with iContact, we'll ask you to put in a new username and password for Facebook, and then you can use the Facebook login and the Facebook password you want. What iContact's doing is it knows that you're already logged in. Your browser already knows that you're logged into your personal Facebook account, and so when you click Enable with iContact, we automatically ask the browser, if you're logged in, and then we automatically enable you with iContact. So you're going to need to log out of your Facebook account before you click Enable with iContact if you want to use a separate Facebook account, not your personal account.
Question from David. How far out can you schedule a post?
So you can schedule a post. The system allows you to schedule a post up to 2 years in advance. That's a lot of runway. I don't necessarily think you'll need to schedule something out that far, but we do have customers that, in fact, we have some customers that send a message a day via social or email. It could be like a tip of the day or a quote of the day. And sometimes they get on a roll and it just takes, they schedule hundreds and hundreds of messages to go out so they don't have to worry about it. So we made the schedule limit 2 years in advance. And as we gather feedback, we may shorten that or lengthen that. But right now it's 2 years.
Question from Cindy. Are there any plans to post photos to Facebook?
Absolutely. In fact, coming up near the end of November, we're going to be releasing some small changes and improvements to what you've seen today. One of those things is the ability to post photos to Facebook and to Twitter. So keep on the lookout for that. That'll be dropping in the next couple of weeks, and there'll be some other improvements too that you can read about on the marketing site and through the iContact application. So yes, that's coming, and it's coming very soon.
Question from Clifford. I'm using an iContact app on my Facebook fan page to capture email addresses. Can I set up a specific autoresponder to go with this iContact sign up?
So wherever you have that sign up form pointing, so whatever list you're adding those customers to, those subscribers to when they sign up for your email list, if you create an autoresponder that's associated with the list that the sign up form is pointing to, anybody who signs up from that sign up form on Facebook will automatically trigger the autoresponder series. So the behavior of the sign up form on Facebook is identical to the behavior of a sign up form that you might put on your website. And in iContact, when you build that form, you get to choose which list you want those people to land on when they use your form. And as long as you have an autoresponder series set up for that list, you should be fine.
Question from Peter. We have the ability to check or uncheck Track My Links within the social tab. Is there any reason I would want to uncheck the Track My Links checkbox?
In some cases, you might want to uncheck that, especially if the actual text of the URL is really, really important from a branding perspective or something like that. So for example, if we send a message out on behalf of iContact, say we were using our own tools to market iContact, the online marketing company, and we put http://www.icontact.com, but we wanted people to read the words icontact.com. If it's shortened, you can't read that, right? It's not as it's shortened. It's not icontact.com, even though the link is still pointing there. So the best reason to uncheck that is if you just want to kind of maintain the if you want to maintain what that URL looks like to the reader. But in most cases, especially going forward as we improve some of the tracking and get into some drill down reporting, you're going to want to use iContact to track those links. But there are cases where you might want to turn that off, so we gave you the option.
Question from Bobby: can you upload a photo album as part of your post through iContact for Facebook?
So you can upload photos to your image library, or if you have the URL of a photo, you can use the image library to insert those into a Facebook photo post and post those to your Facebook fan page or your profile page, and those photos will go to an album. That functionality is not dropping until later this month. Right now, if you were to post an image through iContact in a Facebook post, it doesn't go to any albums. It's treated as a traditional link type message in Facebook. So that functionality is coming.
Question from Aaron. The data from Facebook and Twitter is only every 15 minutes. Why is that?
So right now in iContact, the number of comments, the number of likes, we're essentially using the Facebook and Twitter API to ask Facebook and Twitter for the most recent numbers about that post. Going forward, we are going to want to store that information, and that will make the tracking update more frequently. But because we're not actually storing who specifically liked the post and what the exact comment is, since we're not storing any of that information except for the click information, we don't want to ask Facebook and Twitter too often for the updated counts. So we boxed it at every 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to ask Facebook and Twitter for the most recent tracking information on the post. So going forward, as this product matures through 2012, that kind of update may change. We're likely going to be storing way more information about the post, about the tracking information that we can use to help you understand, potentially return on investment, value, and how to course correct. But right now, it's every 10 to 15 minutes because we don't want to ask Facebook and Twitter too often for the data. We're not storing that data permanently in iContact. As long as Facebook and Twitter feeds it to us, we can show it to you. And since we have to ask Twitter and Facebook for that data each time we want an update, we didn't want to ask them too often. So that's the rhyme and reason behind the 15 minutes. Now, as we get feedback like the feedback you've given, we can adjust that as necessary. But right now, it's the way it works.
Question from Fernanda. If I generate my emails by HTML, can I include the social tool buttons, or do I have to design the emails in iContact to place the buttons?
So we do have merge fields for those buttons. So if you know what the merge fields are, you can use those merge fields as a text string in your HTML document, and it will be treated as a Facebook or as a share button. So you don't have to be in design mode to do it. You can use merge fields to insert those buttons.
And a good way to find those merge fields is when you create an email through the design mode where you can actually see the blocks, and you copy the text down into the text only field, the section where you put those Facebook, Twitter, Google+ one, and LinkedIn buttons will show up down there as the merge fields themselves, so you can just copy it out of there and place it into your HTML. Question from Andrea. Where does that sign-up form show up on Facebook?
We have there's a tab, I believe it's called iContact Email Sign-up, and it will show up. It's an application that will show up on the left side of your Facebook home window, and if somebody, you can point people to that, and when somebody goes to that part of your Facebook profile or your fan page, they can then sign up for your email lists. So I believe it's called the iContact Email Sign-up app, and it'll show up on the left side of the home page of your Facebook profile.
All right, we have time for one more question. This one comes from Megan. She asks, when I switch between Twitter and Facebook functions in iContact, it automatically switches back to my personal profile instead of my Facebook page. Is there a way to make my Facebook page my default for this?
Megan, that's an excellent question, and bravo for thoroughly recognizing that. There are some interaction improvements we do want to make. The focus of the page and some of those consistencies between, you left iContact with the Sunshine Travel fan page selected. When you come back to iContact, we should show that to you. So right now it's going to default to the main profile page. But Megan, you're right, that's an interaction improvement we do want to make. and it's something we will make in the short term.
So that is it for today's webinar. We wanted to thank you again, everybody, for joining us today. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.